Hello everyone. This is hopefully a short response to Matthew Steele and his question and the video, what is the worst moral action possible? In my opinion, in order to have the ability to commit the most immoral act, one would require a being that possesses a certain, let's call them abilities. So I would like to start there. This being would need to be all-knowing, so as to objectively, capital K, know what the most immoral act was in the first place. Next, it would need to be all-powerful, so it would be capable of constructing an environment required to facilitate that action. Also, omnipresent, so as to know that that action, or some may call it a plan, was in fact working. And most importantly, it would need to be timeless, so that action would be infinite and thus result in maximal harm. Now, if just such a being existed, what might this ultimate immoral plan look like? Perhaps the first step this entity would take would be to perhaps create an environment where it places sentient life forms that exist there for a preordained amount of time and then are removed and become eternal. Then it could go on to create a set of laws that even if one of these laws are violated would result in the eternal punishment with no possibility of reprieve for that sentient life's eternal existence. Next, construct the sentient life forms in such a way as to ensure that each individual, without exception, will break at least some of these laws. This creator may also create a way that results in him, her, it not being responsible for the punishments that each of these individuals receive for breaking the laws that he, she, or it established in the first place. This could be achieved by creating a loophole that allows individuals to not only avoid the punishments, but would also bestow eternal rewards on those taking advantage of the loophole. Now, the loophole is not based on the individual's actions or even their morality. In fact, this loophole would be so merciful that it would allow even the most heinous of individuals committing the most horrible of crimes to go unpunished and receive eternal rewards. All the loophole requires of the individual is that they eternally praise and worship the all-powerful being for allowing them to exist and be willing participants in this eternal game of punishment and reward. Now, to ensure that all the sentient life forms it created do not take advantage of this loophole, the entity makes a condition that one must begin this praise and worship before they are removed from the initial environment. We'll call it the physical universe. And to further ensure that some will not come to this realization in time, the creator will design and build this physical universe where these inhabitants must exist in a way that would lead them to believe that everything in their existence is naturalistic in nature and have neither empirical evidence of the entity's existence nor any capability of even acquiring that evidence during that existence. Now, to appear to be fair, while making it as difficult as possible to even become aware of this loophole, this entity might go as far as to reveal itself in such a way to only certain individuals so they know of its existence. And because of this gift of revelation, it would then require those individuals to attempt to convince others of its existence and the existence of the loophole. In a further act of cruelty, it would only give these elected representatives a set of ancient writings that are extremely erroneous and contradictory while claiming to be infallible. And just when you thought that might be as bad as it could get, the entity would then create thousands of other religions that claim exactly the same thing. It would also allow the utilization of those religions by demons it created to mislead the masses, thus ensuring that the entity will always have an ample supply of both worshippers and individuals to eternally torture. And by making each individual feel that it was their own actions that caused this entity to provide the justice that they deserve, it could remain blameless and all-loving in the eyes of the individuals that it created to torture in the first place. So I can think of no greater act of immorality than for an entity of such power to use that power to construct a people and universe so as to feed a narcissistic need for worship while ensuring an ability to punish individuals eternally who were unable, because of their construction and the way their environment was constructed, in worshiping or even knowing that that entity existed. And then for that entity to shift the blame and make those individuals feel it was their own fault, so it does not have to take responsibility for the very torture it created and decided to employ in the first place, is, yes, horrific. And that word falls very short of an accurate depiction of how I feel. I hope this answers your question, Matthew, and is somewhat helpful to some of the viewers. As always, I hope all of you find truth, not capital T truth.